Hey guys, Amy here. Thanks so much for stopping by. So today we're going to be working on some Cricut ornaments. So super beginner friendly, easy ornaments to make with your Cricut. And we're going to be doing them all with just some acrylic blanks. So super cheap. I got a bag of 50 of 2-inch and 3-inch acrylic ornaments off Amazon. I will link this below. So super cheap to make a whole bunch of ornaments. You can also use them as gift tags on people's bags. You can add keychain charms and things to them as a tag to the bag, so people can use them as keychains or as just put them on their tree as ornaments and then keychains after, whatever you want. So also great for like party favors, even wedding favors, bachelorette parties, things like that. Cheap, easy, and fast. So we're going to actually make 3 different kinds. So this is going to be a long video, so I will post below on the times when we are going to start different things. The first ones we are going to go through is about how to add paint and some gold leaf material, and then also glitter on the back, which is like this one, to add on, and then just simply cutting out some vinyl with our Cricut and adding them to the front. So any of these can be done with any Cricut, the Cricut Explorer, the Cricut Joy, the Cricut Maker. And then the next one we're going to be doing is a photo ornament. So great gifts for people, super easy. We're going to be using printable vinyl. You don't actually really need a machine to do this, but it's easy. I like using the Cricut software to design these, and then it makes it a perfect cut, and then you just stick it right on the acrylic and good to go. And then the last one we're going to be doing is actually acrylic engraving ornaments. So these are a little bit probably hard to see, and these are specifically for the Cricut Maker or the Cricut Maker 3 that has the engraving tip. So these won't work with the Cricut Explorer or the Cricut Joy. So I'm going to be showing you quickly how to make some engraved ones too. So again, like I said, super fun. All you really need is the ornaments, some vinyl. This is a perfect craft to use up all the scrap pieces of vinyl. So if you're like me and save tons of little scraps, this is a great project for that. And then also just kind of what you have on hand. I just found paints that I have. I tend to use chalk paints on a lot of stuff, so that's what I'm using on the back. I also pearl, this is a Martha Stewart paint that I'm using on the back of this cute one with just a name. And then just glitter, extra fine glitter. It's perfect for these. Mod Podge for the ones with the glitter, and then I'm even trying a little glitter paint on some of them. So I'm just kind of playing around and seeing how those work. So anything really that you have on hand. These also would be great to make for like an ornament party if you're doing an ornament exchange party or just a fun night with your friends, or a church event, something like that. Just cutting out a bunch of vinyl and bringing all sorts of paints and different things for people to put on the back. Okay, so let's get to it. Okay, so now we are going to take some of these 2-inch and 3-inch acrylic ornaments, and we're just going to paint the back of them. So you just want to take off the one side of the side we're going to be doing. So on this side, I'm actually going to be using a liquid leaf. So this is like a gold leaf, but there's not any gold sheets and tape and stuff. So it's kind of all in one. It doesn't show up kind of as leafy. It shows up more as kind of a gold texture. But we're not going to do it all the way across. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of do that and leave that one. Okay, I'm going to do so this one I think I'm going to paint the whole back side. Okay. And then let's grab some paint. Okay, so I'm going to try chalk paint. This is an Heirloom Tradition white paint. So actually for this one, I'm going to do some gold kind of scattered through it, and then we're going to try to put a paint on top of it. So I'm just going to kind of do something like that, and we'll see. And I'm going to let it dry and paint on top of it so that the other color shows through the back. So this one, let's do, so this is my chalk paint here. So I'm just going to kind of try to do a thick kind of swishy layer. Let's do one on a big one. And you don't have to use paint. You can actually cut out, you know, kind of swishy things of vinyl and stick those on the back too. Okay, let's try this glitter paint. Okay, and we will let those all dry. Glitter on the back. Okay, so we want to do this over a piece of paper or something that we can dump the glitter back into the thing, because you never want to lose glitter. So this one we're going to do gold. So I'm just placing this so it's a little bit above the paper to make it easier. And I'm just going to use a brush and my Mod Podge and just make an even layer. Trying to do all one direction. And get it all covered. Okay, and then I'm just going to dump this gold right on top. Covering all of the Mod Podge there. And then try to dump some of it off. And I actually find where my hole is. I just use that to open up the hole because it does fill up with Mod Podge. Okay, and I'm just going to rest this over here on top of the lid there. And now I have all this on my paper and my lid does not want to come off. So we're going to try to get it right in there. Let this dry, and I'm going to see if I'm going to need to apply a second layer on it once it's dry for a while. Okay, so this one is dry now, so I'm just gonna add some whites kind of on the back just to give it some more depth to it. Okay, so back to my gold one. Let this dry quite a bit. I'm gonna take a dry brush and actually just go over it gently just to take off anything that wasn't stuck down. So it's hard to see what it's gonna look like. Just gonna pull it up a little bit so I can see. So you can see a little bit of the lines in there. So I'm gonna put one more coat of glitter on here. Okay, so I'm gonna let that layer dry for another 15-20 minutes, and then I'm gonna put a layer of triple thick on the top of it just to hold the glitter in place on the back side, and then we'll add something to the front of it. Okay, just kind of wipe around the sides here. Okay, let that dry and finish cutting out my vinyl. Okay, so real quick, just showing you in Cricut Design Space. So all of these I actually found in Cricut Access. So I just typed in Christmas in the images and picked ones that I liked. I just wanted to show you real fast for the ones with the name. This one I used Hello Lovely. I'll link it below. It's, I don't know if it's a paid font or if it was free, I can't remember. But this one I like because it had the heart on it. But anytime you bring in and type in a kerned font or a script font that's together, you always want to make sure to come back down on the bottom right here where it says weld and weld this together so it cuts out in one continuous stroke, so it's all one pattern. Okay, so another tip is to add a shape, and then depending on the size of your ornament, I'm going to type in here just 3 up at the top here and hit enter, and it will keep the ratio there. And then you can change it to any color, and then I'm actually going to arrange it and send it to the back. So then you can kind of size the stuff you have and put it on top and use the arrows to kind of figure out how you want it, how big you want things. Okay, so that's just a quick tip to use. Okay, so once you have them all, you're just going to hit make it, and then we're going to start cutting out on the vinyl as the Cricut Design Space tells us. If you can see here on my screen, it has all my different mats because I'm cutting a whole bunch and they're all different colors. But I'm down to the red one, so I'm going to click on my red one, and then I'm just going to browse, click on vinyl. There's lots of different ones. I'm just going to click on the regular vinyl for my setting, click done, and it tells me to load, and my fine point blade, which is already in there. So I have my mat here, and it's not a full sheet, it's just cutting a couple things at the top. So it doesn't really need to be even, so I'm just sticking this on here. And using my brayer to get it down. Okay. And you'll see on my Cricut here that my load light is blinking. So I'm going to place this underneath the two white guides and hold it up till it's pushed all the way up, and then push on the load button and it will pull it in. And then it's going to read it and make sure there's enough material. And then once my arrow light is blinking, this light over here, my triangle arrow go light, I'm just going to push that and let it cut. Okay, so my machine paused and you'll see my double arrow, which is my load unload button, is blinking. So I'm going to push it so it unloads. I'm going to take this off of my mat. And then I'm going to trim. Okay, so let's look and see. You can see this. So I'm going to go back up, and I haven't cut this purple one. So again, it's asking me because I'm on the Maker 3 and I had selected select for each cut. So it's making me choose my material in between every one. So again, I'm going to do this one out of a vinyl. Guess we'll try a light purple. Once my arrow light starts blinking, I will push that and let it cut. And then I'm just going to keep doing that for each mat, just taking it out, switching my vinyl, and reloading until it cuts everything out. Okay, so then you're going to want to start weeding out your extra vinyl. So I like to start in a corner and pull up that, and then pull it at a really, like about 180-degree angle or so. And if you see things not coming up, I just use my weeding tool and kind of hold them down as we go. Let's see what else here. Okay, and then anything that's left inside, you're just gonna stick one of your weeding tools in and pull it out. Okay, so everything has dried and I've cut out all my vinyl and weeded it out. So we're going to put together a few of these. And I'm actually just going to put like an old shirt or something down so it doesn't scratch the paint on the back of it. So this was that glitter paint, like this stuff. So it just kind of splotched, which is actually kind of cool. So we're going to come on the other side, pull that off, and then this one I was going to put the reindeer, and since it's just one thing, I'm actually just going to pull it up with my fingers here. So this is a holographic vinyl. So gonna put that one on there. Let's see how that color goes. So you can see on the back side kind of some cool texture with the sticky part of the paint, the clear part. So that is there, but still pretty cool. An easy one. Okay, so this is another gold leaf one. So again, pull that off. And I'm just gonna keep using my same transfer tape until it doesn't stick anymore. That one's cool. I love that. Super easy. Okay, so the one I was going to do with a name, which was this one, we're actually going to do it on a blank one. So this would be more of a tag on a gift, or you can make a keychain out of it. But the heart is actually going to go backward, so I cut this in mirror setting because it's going to go on. So instead of putting paint on the back, you can put vinyl on. Okay. And then on the front side, and then on the front side, I'm going to take this one off. So that's on the back. And then we're going to put the name on. These would also be great for like party favors, bachelorette party, even weddings. It's not overly big, but look how pretty that is. So that you can just put right on a gift as a tag, and then they can keep it as a keychain. I'm going to add a little keychain doohickey on that one. Okay, so for this kind of pink one, that will be more of a, like I said, a tag, just to show you kind of the difference between doing one with vinyl on the back and then one with paint. And this is actually shimmer vinyl. So I'm using the strong grip transfer tape on this. Okay. And again, Okay. So it makes it a little shinier. Okay, so I wanted to show you real fast how to just do the photo one on here. So I'm just going to click on my upload in Cricut Design Space and click upload image and then the browse button. And then I'm going to go into downloads and I know open this one. So it comes in like this and I'm going to click on complex and click on continue and then just continue. Because I'm going to slice it out in it. So print and cut image, I want that. Click upload. Okay, so once it's uploaded, I'm going to click on it and then click insert. And it probably comes in huge. So I'm just going to bring it down to about 4 inches. So you can see it here. And then in order to get it to a circle, I'm going to click on shape and then on circle. And I'm going to make this 3 inches. So I'm just going to come up here and delete off the ones and click enter. So now it's 3 by 3. And so I'm actually going to make this picture smaller. And so everything's kind of behind it where I want to cut out. Okay. So then I'm going to use my cursor and drag it over both of these so they're both selected. And you can tell over in the layers panel they are because they're both gray. And I'm going to click on slice down here. So this will slice it out. I'm going to move this aside and then I'm going to move this and I'm left with that. So I'm just going to delete these off because I don't need them. And then I'm just going to add a year on it. So I'm going to click on text and just type in any year and then pick whatever font you want. Okay, so just find whatever font you want and make it a little bit smaller. I'm going to turn it to white because this will all print, so it matters what color it is. Make it the color you want. And then I'm actually going to use the curved tool over here and curve it up so it starts moving, but it's really far away. So then I'm going to use the letter space right here and drop that down so it gets closer. And then again, go back into the curve and curve it more. And again, drop the letter space. You can see it's not quite even on both sides with the letters. So I'm actually going to ungroup it and then move this one down and this one over and down a little bit. Okay, so I like it that way there. Okay, so now that everything's like that, I'm going to use my cursor, drag it over everything, and then in order for all of this to print as one, because you see right now it is 5 different layers, I'm going to flatten it. So I'm going to click on flatten, and that makes it one print and cut image. Okay, so this will all print, and then it will cut around the edge. So when I go to make it, I'm just going to send it to my printer. Select on matte because it has everything. Okay, you'll see that it comes up like this because you can only print on an 8.5 by 11 piece. We're using printable vinyl, and this is the box that it reads around, so it prints that out. I'm going to click continue, and I'm going to hit send to my printer. And I'm going to leave the bleed on. It just adds a little bit of extra around there where it cuts. And then I'm going to choosing my OfficeJet Pro, and I'm going to click print. And then I'm going to print this out. And then we're going to add it on a mat and cut it out. Okay, so then this one just came out of my printer. Again, I printed on the printable vinyl. So I'm just going to add this onto a mat. I'm going to use my brayers. Stick it down so I don't touch it. So I have my fine point blade in, and I'm going to move my rollers back. And with my blinking light, I'm going to load this into my mat. And then I'm going to pick the setting for printable vinyl and let this cut. Okay, super easy cut because it was just a circle. And you definitely don't need a Cricut to make this one. You can just print it out in any design software and cut it out with scissors. With this, I'm just going to pull this off. And I already took the top off of my vinyl here. Line it up. And press that down. And then where the hole is, I'm actually just going to use this to make the hole and go on this side to push it down. Ooh, don't do that. Okay, so now you have a super easy photo ornament. Newborn, if you have a newborn, it'd be cute to do a newborn one, or do it in a year. Okay, so I just wanted to show you on the engraving. To find things to engrave, I went to images. And I typed in Christmas up here, and then under the operation type over here, I put draw only. So draw, engraved, boss, kind of similar thing that they just have a single line where it wants to do the engraving. If you do any other type of font, it will do the outlines of the font. So you'll notice that if you try to use one. So I just went through here and found one that I liked. So this Joy one here. Okay, so I just click it, insert it, and then to size it, I'm going to insert a shape. and pick a circle, and then I'm going to make it 3 inches. So I'm just going to come up here. This is 3.11, but I'm just going to backspace those ones and hit enter so it's a perfect 3. I'm just going to change the color up here so I can see it better. Okay, so now I'm just going to use my double arrow and my mouse to drag that, and it's in the back. So I'm just going to arrange it and send this to the front. Okay, so this way you can kind of see how big you want it. And you can also change the lock on here and make it a little bit more round if you want to. Okay, so I like it like that. So I'm going to move this out, and then I'm going to click on this, and up here under the operation is where you change this. I'm going to come down and click on Engrave. And over here on my layers panel, you'll see that it says Engrave, and we are set to go on that engraving. Okay, so the next one we're going to do is an engraved acrylic ornament. So if you have a Cricut maker, you can use the engraving tip that comes with it. It's number 41. And engraving is a little bit trickier because of how you have to line it up. So sometimes it engraves just a tad off center and a tad down, so you might not want to. I did first on one of mine, I used cardstock and a debossing tip and just kind of see how mine did. Mine did a little bit up. So I'm just going to move my thing up, my acrylic a little bit up. So again, I'm taking off the back, and I'm only going to take the back off. We're going to do the acrylic on the front side. So I'm going to attach this down. So I'm going to center mine in between these two lines here, and then just a little bit up. Okay, and press it down, and then I'm going to use some painter's tape and tape it down. On the top and the bottom. Oops. A little bit on the side. And it might engrave over the tape a little bit. Okay, so I want that as stuck as I can. I'm going to put my engraving tip again, tip 41, into my B clamp here. And then I'm going to move the rollers to the side. These white rollers, you can just push them with your fingers and go to the side so they don't roll right on top of that. Okay, so let me show you. So here's my design space, and on the Make It, I am going to move this so it corresponds. I have it between my 2 and my 5. And then actually 2 and 5 and 2 and 5 both ways. So I just want to line it up in this 2 by 5 inch box, and it's a little bit easier with my mouse than my finger. But I'm just going to line it up as best as I can. So there's about equidistance top and bottom on the sides there. I'm going to continue. And it says Engrave, and then I'm going to go to browse all my materials, and down at the bottom is the acrylic, and I'm doing acrylic thick. Done. And it tells me to load my engraving tool, which I already did. Okay, so now I'm going to load my mat. My light is blinking. Okay, and now my go light is blinking, so I'm going to push that and let this engrave. Okay, so it is all done. So I'm going to unload it and take the tape off. And then just to kind of get the etching markings and stuff off, it's just a lint roller. But you can also use like a cotton shirt or something and get that off. So now when we go to take the back part off, let's see if we can get you, if you can see that engraving in there. Super pretty. So you can leave this as is and hang it on a tree, and with the lights behind it, it will light up. But you could also paint the back of it. So if you weren't gonna hang it on a tree, you can see this one I did, and with it painted, you can see both of them. But if I hold it up to a light, the painted one actually disappears. You can only see this. So depending on what you want it for, you can definitely see this pop out if you want to paint the back of it. Okay, so there you have it, a whole bunch of ornaments you can make for super cheap with your Cricut, all in the same pack of one thing I bought. So we got the glitter on the back, joy in the front, and then some painted with the gold leaf, and some for tags or for use as keychains. And then we have the engraved ones that you can make. And then the photo one. And then all the ones with the vinyl on the front, and then different things on the back side.